Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz on June 8, 2013, and 2:19 a.m. Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: some new discoveries, and I found them very interesting, and I'm going to try to make it really short. They have been finding skulls and skeletons around the world, and I'm sure you can find books on that, and but at the same time they're all being removed. At one time in the Smithsonian they had dozens and dozens of skeletons that were 8, 10, 12 foot tall, as in other museums around this country and around the world. And L.A. Marzulli, he is like the Nephilim hunter. Nephilim were the offspring of the sons of gods, which were the fallen angels that came down before the flood and mated with the daughters of men. And the offspring were the Nephilim, and they have been here ever since. Every time that you see in the Bible that God will tell the Jews or other groups when they go into a particular area, you have to kill the lot of them. And it sounds cruel, but women, children, even the animals, because they're all tainted. They all have the DNA of the fallen angels. And that's not God's plan. And every time the Jews would have mercy on any of them, then in time the Jews would end up being imprisoned by them and end up being their slaves. And that's history. That's all the way back from the first Jew until they got their homeland in 1948. And God says, when you're there, then you will never leave it. But why do the Muslim world hate the Jews with such passion? Well, to start with, Muhammad, their so-called Jesus or their prophet, told them to. It was only the efforts of the Nephilim and the efforts of the fallen angels to wipe out the Jews because they carried the bloodline that Jesus came from. Satan knows this, and that was his agenda, to create human, which he can't create human, is impossible because only God can do that, but create beings that look human, that would be under his control, his power, his spell, and do his bidding. Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase. Muhammad was a big fella. Some say 6 foot, some say 6'6". Some say that he was even 7 foot tall. But all of them say he had red hair and light skin. Wow, how ironic is that? Let me tell you that just recently in Peru, L.A. Marzulli, and you can type in L.A. Marzulli and just type in Watchers 6 or Watchers 5 or 4 or 3, Watchers series, and see a little bit of what he did. Well, these Nephilim skulls that they found were 12 feet and even taller. But ironically, even in Peru, they're scooping them up and they're whisking these things away because they don't want their history told. Who is doing that? Why would our government or their government hide history? Well, because they're Nephilim to start with. And our government, in my mind, a big part of it has come under the spell of the Nephilim. But the point is, remember, Muhammad was a very tall man, and the Muslims bowed to this man. They kissed his feet, and he said, he makes reference to Allah, which there's no Allah, and Allah said to do all this. Well, everything that Allah said was evil. Kill, kill, kill. Everybody, as long as they're Jews and Christians. But these skulls that were recently found, documented in pictures of, guess what? Red hair. They had red hair in the likeness of Muhammad. Was Muhammad a Nephilim? You decide. Jody Wolf, Expoz.